10:31 on this Valentine's Tuesday downtown out in the heart of the RiverBend I'm having a day, Shawn. Shawn Fowler, Modified Auto, hanging out with me today and watching me just crash and burn. No pun intended.
What's happening, man?
Oh, man, all I know is that I think it's the day. You know, I woke up, I looked outside and went, I'll be damned. This is the day. This is the perfect CJ day off day, you know, and I got to get up and do the show. But, man, I'm kind of just, you know, getting the cobwebs shaken out still after an hour and a half.
Hey, it might be rainy, but at least it's like 60 degrees outside.
I'm telling you what.
It's super nice.
That's why I wanted to stay home. It's like perfect. A little bit of humidity, too. Oh, chef's kiss. We're ready to rock.
It's also a good day to be down in the studio, too.
That's true. That's true. You don't want to be walking outside today having fun. Right. But, Shawn, man, what you guys have done over at Modified Auto, you know, it's been a journey for you, but now you're over at Eastgate, and I have not seen, and right off the bat, didn't realize how developed Eastgate had got in just a short period of time.
Oh, my gosh, it's amazing. So Todd Kennedy, he's kind of the one that spearheaded the project. I don't know if you remember, like initially, Eastgate was in some pretty deplorable conditions, and Todd's wife, Julia, she owns the Julia's Banquet Center over there, which is just a fantastic business. If anybody needs, you know, they do a full catering, any kind of event that you need, you know, they'll cook, they'll provide the space, and it's beautiful.
At any level too, it doesn't matter. You know, I mean, seriously, I've seen them host the governor, didn't they?
They do some pretty neat stuff over there. More importantly, though, they were able to get a lot of square footage cheap when they got that place. And I think then the opportunity came up, you know, he had a vision, and you know, the one thing I could say about Todd Kennedy is that he's not like your typical flashy owner, you know.
Yeah.
If he made a promise to me, I could show up at any time during the construction of our shop there, and you could count that Todd was going to be on a ladder or he was going to be in a hole. He was covered in drywall, dust, or paint. He really put it up. He's brought so much growth to small business, and with some new ideas and stuff that I just, I'm super blessed to be a part of the Eastgate community, and it changed the level. You know, we were in that little small building there by Washington School in the car wash where the old Jerry's Tire used to be. We were there for 8 years, and wonderful business. Loved being in the neighborhood, but getting to step up into that brand new 5,000 square foot location is
it's like Christmas.
It is. Everything is brand new, and Todd let me sit down and with a piece of graph paper, and we drew where we wanted walls to be, and we you know, picked colors, and I mean, I couldn't have done it without him, and so taking that next step. I mean, we got a little skin in the game too. But not nearly as much as Todd does.
Right. And see, that's the thing. We were talking on the phone, and I wasn't, you know, I was only there for a couple of days because we were, you know, with Rigged and Sewer Service. I helped my uncle out, and we were going and looking at some of the lines, locating them as that development was happening. And right away I was going, this is a massive over. I mean, I didn't realize how badly the condition of that plaza was before, you know, the renovation started.
Heck yeah. There was, in a lot of the stalls, there was no ceiling at all, and there was grass growing, and you could watch it rain right inside of them. And you know, he completely, the infrastructure is completely redone. Like every single bay that gets done is brand new sewer, brand new electrical. They don't even try to keep any of the old stuff. It's easier. Let's just gut it and know that everything is 100%. So So moving there has been great. The East Alton community in general has been super easy to do business in. I mean, the city hall, the police department, the fire department, they've all been so supportive of their local businesses. We love to be a part of it.
Well, it makes a great point. I have always said this with East Alton. There's something special because everyone that's in the thick of it, at, you know, public safety down to business owners to you name it. It seems like in a really nice unit where you guys have each other's backs. You work together really well. And I wish more communities would model that because it's not as tight-knit in other places as it is in East Alton.
Initially, when we were moving into the smaller building 9 years ago now, in August we celebrated our first full year in the new building, which is insane.
Yeah.
You know, it's absolutely insane. But prior to that, you know, when we first got into the new building down there, we were all wiped out. We had pretty much been building a company and essentially what happened is I worked for Reliable Stereo, and I was a general manager for their company, and things weren't going well. And taking a step back and looking at, I had worked for local competition, Custom Sounds, and some other places, and I just didn't like how the companies were ran. And I know we've all worked for a place where you just felt like a number. You didn't feel important,
right?
And then as a customer, when you go into like an electronics business, you immediately have this feeling of, okay, I'm being victimized.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's because of the sales atmosphere that is pushed so hard in this business. Look, it's not difficult. The reality of it is that if you give people what they want, what they really need, not what I'm trying to shove down your throat, not the latest, coolest, thing. If that's not what you need, we tell a story about a gentleman that came to us in a kind of a beat up old Chevy construction work truck, right? Mm-hmm. Front speakers were blown in there. He stops in and he says, I just like to drink my coffee, listen to my talk radio on the way to work in the morning.
RiverBender.com.
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
I believe so. And he's like, I just need some speakers.
Yeah.
He didn't tell us that he had already got a quote at the competition. And so, looking at the truck and what it was, immediately I could see the fact that trying to sell him a $500 pair of speakers would be insulting to the situation.
Right. Right.
So he told me what his needs were, and I fulfilled them. So I gave him a quote for a very entry-level pair of speakers, very affordable pair. Our labor is already more affordable than our competition. We keep a close eye on that. And he was ecstatic. So where he got out the door paying $150 with us, he got a quote for $750 with the competition. And the story doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
Okay. So about a week later, the same gentleman shows back up with a beautiful brand new pickup truck. And he wanted the full shebang, full stereo system, alarm, remote start, everything. Then we did his boat, his Harley Davidson. And so, right. The moral of the story is that he works hard, but he also plays hard,
Yeah.
And just being treated so first and foremost, we don't, at Modified Auto Sound, we don't have any employees that are commission paid.
That's fantastic. That's really fantastic because it's the same thing I've said with certain plumbing companies that sound like an animal's name that have these sales reps that just hose people for tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm sure it's no different in your industry.
Well, no, and I had a very negative experience with a plumbing company that has a different name, but all matching trucks the same. and they had a service structure that was built, and it was built on upselling.
Yep.
And they tried very little, the old fashioned throw a snake down the drain, right?
Yep.
I've never seen anyone that actually tried at it fail with a good piece of equipment, especially a good old school sewer company, right?
1065, Spartan 1065 with RiverBender with Rigdon. You aren't going to go wrong. I can tell you that.
Right. And this company came out to our old location, and you see, we've got a blockage here. We're gonna have to go in with a cam.
Yep.
Now we're gonna have to go in with a water jet. Now we're gonna have to go in with this and that. We're gonna have to charge you for location and all these things. And it just escalated to, it was like, unclogging a toilet was like, we're at $1,500 now.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's no different in the car in the industry you're in, because to me, when you said that about the guy coming in just for talk radio, why do we need a bunch of speakers that are going to blow us out of the water when some old guy with a deep voice starts talking?
All he wants to do is just listen to his tunes and drink his coffee and drive to work, man.
That is so cool. And then in return, then you get a long-standing client and a customer that obviously loves your services.
And he wanted to jam on the boat, so the boat was the opposite. And those projects were spare no expense. I want the best that you can put in here. Let's literally make it happen. The idea behind it is that we sell you what you need, not what we need to sell you. So we also wanted to do the same thing with our employees. We wanted to make sure that we broke the mold and kind of did things in a different way. So we against the advice of all kinds of, wittier than I business folk, they, telling me that you can never put your employees before your business. Well, we did that, and we've got a crew that's solid. We've got a crew that's loyal, and I believe that we're one of the best in the St. Louis metropolitan area. What we do, we definitely have one of the nicest shops. That's for sure.
Well, and too, I mean, it seems like when you do that, I mean, it just becomes more of like a family, and I think in small business, you definitely need that type of, relationship with your fellow, employees and coworkers.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't, you're going to be working on two separate islands and not achieving any goal.
We love it. Like we make a big deal about everybody's birthday.
Yeah.
We shut the shop down. We let them pick where they want to go, and we buy everybody, birthday lunch and have a great deal. Have just a great deal of time with it. The guys start off clocking in, and they start making fun of each other in the morning. Well, I tell you what though, if you've got thin skin, you probably wouldn't last long back there at that shop.
Nope, I wouldn't last.
They look for a weakness, and then they exploit it. They go for gusto on that.
That's fantastic. So let me circle back here. Let's take
Sure.
it back. Picture this, like Sophia and Golden Girls. 8 or 9 years ago, you're just starting the business. What when you started it, you gave us a little bit of the reason, but how did it first start? Was it always the same product? Was it always the same service, or did it evolve into what it is today?
Well, modified has pretty much been modified.
Okay.
There's been an evolution in life, of course. I didn't just kind of fall into it. I've been doing it for a long time. I'd worked for several other places. I worked for a place called Show Off Audio over in Missouri on Lindbergh, and unfortunately he wasn't taking care of the taxes the way he should have.
MC Hammer.
And I was a repossession agent actually for 10 years. So when prior to that, I owned a customizing shop where we did paint, body work, custom suspensions and stuff like that. And at the same time though, I was running my repossession business at night.
Did you have to repossess the employer that was bad on his taxes? Did you ever have to take anything?
No, but I got a funny story about that. That's kind of like that actually. He actually that employer at the Show Off Audio, he kind of did me a little dirty and didn't kind of pay me my last paycheck, and it was a bad situation. And when I went to work for Reliable, we went and actually liquidated his business.
Oh, I love it.
So I got to go with the new company card and pick up trucks, and we bought all of his hopes and dreams and put them in the back of a truck and took him back to Illinois. Now, as if that wasn't good enough, things started off really good for me at Reliable Stereo. It was a 50-plus family business. I really embraced it. Things went a different direction. Some of the employees weren't treated so well, and I couldn't stand for that. And eventually I decided to leave. And to warm my heart beyond, I still to this day can't believe it happened. But I decided that's it. I can't do this anymore. And I'm gonna do something else. And I went to quit, and every other employee there, including the cleaning kid, was like, "Well, we're coming with you." And I was like, I don't have a pot to pee in,
right?
And so I don't know what we're gonna do here, but I trusted the universe, and I trusted that I'm doing these things morally for the right reasons, and I know I've got this business, and I already had this incredible relationship and 15 plus years of experience already with distributors and where to get the product, and I already had a huge, awesome clientele built up. So for me, it was like, that rare chance that you get to open up a business with everything in place,
right?
A lot of great things happened. At the time, my head installer Ron had just bought a new house in Brighton, and he had a barn, a little farm area, and he's like, "Hey man, we can start off out there." And so a lot like your success stories with like Apple. And,
I was gonna say like Bill Gates, you're in a garage. Yeah.
We started off in a little shop, and within about 3 weeks, I was able to acquire the building, get the insurance policies and all that. But before then, I started. I did a lot of my. Reliable was so behind the times. Plus, they have like the one grandma phone on the wall.
I was gonna ask you. I swear to God, I was gonna say, did they have a rotary phone?
It wasn't rotary, but it was the one kitchen phone with like the 400-foot long cord. You would take it into the bathroom and talk to your girlfriend.
You can go to Godfrey and still make the call.
Right, right. So that and like one computer, and I think they were still doing taxes with an abacus. But that's one thing I did there is I was able to kind of bring it up to speed, and I wish things wouldn't have gone the way they did. However, Modified wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. And as a turn of fate, when we get onto that farm, and I start getting telephone calls from all of our distributors. Hey man, we heard what happened. We love you, brother. We got your back. And I'm like, well, I don't have these. Well, listen, I had one distributor set up a cash account in his own personal name so that we could still continue to order and take care of our clients until the tax ID, the counting and stuff takes a little while for that stuff to process. So I need my tax ID to process and all that. And Solar Control Films in St. Louis is a warehouse that we buy all of our global window tint from. And I have for years before Modified. And Richard's the owner. And that guy's been amazing to me. He's just been a great distributor. And so loyalty is game one in any industry, right?
Right.
And so with the window tint company, he sent me like 2 boxes of every shade that he had on him and said, hey man, we want to help you get on your feet. And so those kind of sentiments go a long way. Well, later on, years in fast forward years in the other building,
right.
We had an issue where we lost our main window tinter. He decided to move on and do his own thing, which we always support growth and our, how can you be mad at somebody?
Right.
He made a decision that was better for his family, so he was moving on. But we were without a head window tinter, and our other guy was only partially trained. He was trained on how to stick windows at the time, but he didn't really have the hand cutting down yet.
Gotcha.
And I called Richard at Solar Control, and I was like, man, and keep in mind back then we're talking maybe 2 or 3 years into the new business, so we're still in that struggle phase.
Yeah.
And I called Richard and I said, hey man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm looking for some advice. I need to send my guy down to get some further training. And when's the next class? The next class was months off, and he's like, have you ever thought about going digital? And back then you might as well have been talking $1 million,
right?
Because shoot, all those years ago, this stuff was not a cheap technology. No. And he said, no, he said, I tell you what, Richard financed me out of his own pocket for almost $8,000 worth of equipment, which was a great big 40-inch Roland brand cutter, the laptop, a year in advance on the program that we continue because it's renewed. So
gotcha.
They're always adding new cars to it, the kind of thing. And so it was my like mission. We paid like double and triple payments to him and paid it off like way early. But there was no he did that with no contract, no handshake, just his word and my word. And I said, man, I think we're going to give it a shot. It shows up. So we're one of the only companies in the St. Louis metropolitan area that digitally cuts our film for our window tinting, which is awesome because that means there's no blade that actually gets used on your car to hand cut this film. We're inputting it into a machine or into a computer, blooping in the numbers, and like magic, it cuts the film for us. So I think that's pretty cool. That's one thing that sets us aside. We're able to turn around your window tint job within your appointment, which a lot of people are saying. A lot of shops that drop it off in the morning and you can pick it up in the evening. Well, we can knock out a set of roll-ups or what we call roll-ups, just the front 2 to match. We can knock that out in 30 minutes while you wait in our waiting room, and we got you on your way. So
yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Well, and see, that's what I think is great because so many times it seems like any industry, any business, they have one specialty thing. Maybe it's speed. They're getting Jimmy John's, right? There's your sandwich. Get out of here. Or you got the ones that just focus on just giving you what you want, and that's fine. We're honest, but that's it. You guys kind of have the gauntlet when it comes because you've developed it over, 8 years. I think it's great.
We do, but we still also kind of control what, like we don't want to do any more expansion.
I get what you're saying.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Like we want to do what we do and do it well, kind of like Jimmy John's.
Right. Right.
They're not going to get into making pizzas because they do great with making sandwiches. So we the newest thing that we've added is the truck and Jeep accessories.
That's a big thing.
Oh my gosh, it's been we don't have a lot of advertisement out there, but we're doing gangbusters in it. The tonneau covers and running boards and the vent visors, and we're a WeatherTech dealer, so we're getting those cool floor liner floor mats. And
I didn't realize, I thought WeatherTech was a gimmick. I'm just going to be honest. So for like a year, I was laughing at my grandpa because he got why did you bought those floor mats for? Oh, they're the best. And I thought he was just saying that because he bought them. Changed my life. Literally changed my entire life.
Yeah, you spill 144-ounce soda on a set of WeatherTechs, and you're good to go. You're good to go.
Yeah,
but they laser trace the floors of these vehicles, and then they make these floor mats fit that a little oversized, and protects your carpet, and it's good stuff. We do quite a bit of it.
Yeah, and so take me through this. So another thing too, because I've been telling people about my. I got a different car, so I have for the first time automatic start.
Oh yeah!
Oh my God, what a lifesaver in this building! I'm sitting right up there looking at the snow coming down, going, just gonna start that and let that one run for a little bit.
Going,
Go do another meeting, then leave.
It's definitely our number one sales item through these months. Yeah.
And so now with this, I always heard, you always get like I guess the insider articles that go, oh, don't do, watch out for your starters. You better have more than a fourth a tank of gas or it's going to free. You know what I'm saying? All those little things.
All the little wise tales.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's really not an issue if you want to get a remote starter.
Not at all. And there's a lot of scare tactics out there.
Right.
And it's primarily, listen, we've been doing, I've got 27 years of experience in this, and not one time has there ever been an issue. Now, I mean, of course, you want to vet the quality of your installers.
Right.
Accidents can happen. But as far as a remote starter cause, I mean, let's face it, guys, we're starting the car just as if you would with a key. One of the misconceptions is it's bad on your starter. Well, how can that be? We're not doing anything but starting the car. And we're not starting the car 1,000 times.
Right.
Heck, these hybrids now, I mean, you want to talk about hard-on starters?
Oh, my.
That boggles my mind.
They stop, and then, you sit there, and then it turns off, and then when you drive, it turns
back. They start again. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a great point.
I don't know. I don't know how that... So my point is that one of the issues that we have, and this goes out to the consumer, whether you're our customer or not, if you're having trouble with a dealership's service department, remote starts are the number one scapegoat for problems with your vehicle. They for some reason, they see that key fob or they see that antenna and they stop looking. And that's immediately the problem. And we are willing to pick up that phone and go to bat for you with those. We do a lot of dealer support remote starts. Quality Pontiac, Cadillac, Chevrolet, we the Nissan dealerships, Kia. We do a lot of window tinting and dealer prep for those people, and there's sometimes a disconnect between the service department and the sales department. But when they, we're willing to go to bat for you.
Well, and that's what's cool. I think that's something that's that I truly believe sets you apart too. Because if you're telling me, hey, we'll tackle this together. Let me give them a call, because let's be honest, sometimes no matter what dealership you go to, I'm not discriminating. It seems like the service, side of things, they don't really take you too seriously because, they got such and such years of experience. So that's a remote starter. So to have seriously somebody on our team really to help us with things like this is important.
Well, to save face, the dealership I was dealing with directly, we won't name names, but
right.
They, that gentleman even told me, with all due respect, sir, I'm the expert on this brand of vehicle. And I said, well, with all due respect, sir, I'm the expert on 12-volt accessories on any vehicle.
Right.
And I've got some codes for you that can help you with actually, and it's like, come on, let's put our macho down,
right?
And let's do what's right for the customer, because ultimately it's the customer that's suffering here.
Right. Well, and too, I mean, you bring up a good point too, because it seems like sometimes there's always that I'm planting my feet on the ground, I'm not budging. Over a starter, is that really going to be the thing? Kind of.
Well, I mean, when you go, they don't understand how how it works and where we're, you just think, oh, well, you're just cutting a bunch of wires and it's there's a lot of wires that we're tapping into. A lot of times it's T-lining a wire, which means that the wire still is completely intact. It's not, we're just kind of bypassing, an area, and the bypass modules and stuff, they memorize like the frequency of the key, and basically we're just mimicking the fact that your key's there and then putting in a safeguard so someone can't jump in and take off with the vehicle,
Well, I've told this before on the air in St. Louis. Everyone can complain about, they can have their perception about automatic start. It has changed my life. I'm telling you what, it is so much better than waking up and it's 20 degrees outside and I got to go outside, go start my car, freeze to death, walk back. It's not worth it. So we have about 3 minutes left, Shawn, and we've been talking I told Shawn 15 minutes or so, and we're talking for 25, but this has been really cool and a great conversation. So right off the bat, we're wrapping up. What are some of the main things that you'd like people to know about some of the services you provide? You just talked about the Jeeps, accessories, the trucks. Do you guys do lift kits?
We don't. We can't sell you the products.
Okay.
We're just not tooled to do that.
Okay.
Again, that falls into the, we're going to concentrate on what we do and do it well. We at Modified Auto Sound, we are your full service stereo shop. So we've got all your speakers and amplifiers and aftermarket stuff in stock, typically speaking. We do all your security. So we're going to do your alarms, your remote starts, your keyless entries and things like that. We also do LED accent lighting.
Oh,
we do a ton of that, and the Jeep industry has exploded, and so we like to do a lot of the customizing of that stuff. David, our one of our techs, he's super good at it. We use one brand. We use XK Glow. It's app. You operate it with an app on your phone. A million different color choices, but he actually, being that we use one brand.
Yeah,
he's very versed in it. You know what I mean? So it's something we've specialized in. We've got our other main technician has over 27 years experience doing this. Came from a company that worked on Ferraris and Lamborghinis and such, and so his tool set that he has is indispensable.
I gotta see that.
It's pretty amazing. He's got his tool chest is as big as this entire cabinet, this entire table we're sitting at, and he uses a lot of specialty tools that he's collected along the way, and computers and things that a lot of shops don't have, so we can turn on airbag lights and turn them off. We can do a lot of things.
That's awesome. So the best way for people to just give you guys a call, check out your website. What's the best way?
Yeah, the best way. Well, our website is kind of in construction
development.
Facebook page, Modified Auto Sound on Facebook, is about the best way to see what we're doing and what's going on with us. But jump in the car and shoot on down to Eastgate Plaza. We're 241 Eastgate Plaza, and we're right next door to the Dollar General, so we're easy to find. The best way is just come on by and see what we got. Let us know what you need. And
absolutely. I'm just playing some wrap-up music. We're out of time. About 20 seconds left, but you got to check out Shawn. It's an incredible company, Modified Auto. I will see you guys back here tomorrow with the full slate of guests live at 9. So on that note, have a great day, and try your best to stay out of jail.